Alright, so it will start from previous tutorial. One thing we noticed was, even though we had added explosion game mechanic, for which we added this add explosion force. However, we noticed that it wasn't the movement wasn't much smoother, and the explosion effect wasn't realistic. So to make the explosion effect realistic, we enabled the agent movement script agent enabled to false. What this means is that if we open up our this croc, which is here, so if we go to this croc here, so it had two scripts that we needed to turn off, and that we did inside RigidBody explode. So if I open it now, what we did was get the game RigidBody. If I can show you here. So oops. So if I can show you here, the RigidBody component, this is our RigidBody component which has RigidBody on it. This is the RigidBody. So first thing we will do is set the agent movement script, since it is the script that is keeping the player on the board and not letting it explode above the board. So this script we will turn it off here by simply getting the component agent movement and then enabled. Then secondly, inside agent movement script, we will get a reference of if I will edit this, go to edit script, and firstly it was private, NavMeshAgent was private, but since we want this reference of agent component as public, so we can access it inside this class, we simply kept the serialized field on and simply turned the private to public. If we remove the serialized field first, then the values in the game would have been resetted to something that we don't want, or zero or null reference in some cases. So it's important that you keep the serialized field first, and once you save the script again, make it that after making this public, you can turn this back to private, and now you have a script, you have an agent here with the same values. And if you go to RigidBody component here, you will get this agent reference here. This is the agent, and inside agent you will turn this off. So what this means is that this will be turned as off because this was the reference that we had stored here. So now if I play the game, you can see the explosion effect would be much better. So if I go to this questionnaire, turn to on, and now go back to this. So these are a bunch of our friends, and now as we can see, this is the RigidBody explosion effect, that the allies kinda flew away the moment they were created. It simply did an explosion on it whenever it jumps. Second thing would be that we add some kind of effect. And now another thing that we can do is to adjust the progress bar. So to change the colors of progress bar, simply go to this, you can type gradient bar here. You can simply go to this, that is this material, and then inside this hierarchy asset sample shader refer this. If you don't want to find, you can type it here, this name, gradient bar. So this will have your gradient bar here. This will be your gradient bar, and here we will change the color simply by going to the shader graph, double clicking it, and then going to sub, or sorry, you can discard this and go to this sub shader graph or double click it, and here once you have double clicked, you can go to this gradients, and here you can see bunch of values that you can change. Chrome will have the shader like this. Earlier it was kinda inferno or plasma type, and then there are a bunch of other values. This is with this. So now if I can play, oh, I need to save it first so the effects may replicate. So now close it and it will automatically give the option of save. And now if you play it, as you can see, the color kind of changed, but it's a bit dull, even though it doesn't take much of an attention, which is kind of good thing. But you can adjust it according to your likes. So I will press this again, gradient bar. This will be gradient bar, yes. And we will turn this back to rainbow, so it's much better. Now we will close the tab, save it, close it, and now if you play, as you can see, it will be something like this, and it's much better in color. And yep, this is how it is. Now second thing we will do is so if we open up previous bullet script, it was simply destroying the game object when it was colliding with the tag name enemy. Also this enemy croc didn't had a croc didn't had a didn't had a collider on it, so or a tag on it. So if you see, there is no enemy tag is here, but this is located far away, and this doesn't have a collider on it either. So if we go to this one has a collider, or if you don't see a collider here, so if you turn on, if I turn on this collider on here, and if we can see if we can edit it, so this is the collider, it's little bigger. And if you want to change the value, you can simply press this, and then there would be small points through which you can change this collider. So this is the point again, it's pretty small, these points, and they are pretty tough to find too as well, as you can see. So you will have you will need some rotation. You need to do some you need to use your Unity gizmo skills here to properly align it, and now it seems fine for me. And if you want to make it further nearer, then you yep. So because of the background, it's kind of a bit messy. So now, in my opinion, it's a bit better, but you can change to your own setting like this. Yep. So now it should be fine. Yep, so these are the settings that you can do to change, and this will be it. And once you are here, you can simply save it, save your scene here. And now as you can see, the box collider is on, and we can turn this trigger on to as on as well, and then we will see if the enemy gets destroyed when the bullet touches it. So it doesn't get destroyed. And now if we turn this trigger to off, and I'll try to see. Yep, even though its bullets are touching this enemy croc. So this is enemy, and this is the collider that is touching with it, and it should have a tag named enemy as well that we missed, or we have it. Yeah, we missed it. So this is the tag that is missing, and we will put the enemy tag here. And now when we play it, see, it gets destroyed. And now if we turn this to enemy croc here, and turn this to enemy here, and now if you play, again this is the game object which has a skinned mesh renderer component on it. So that was for, and the box collider is checking for the bullets to check to kind of, you know, to sorry, so bullets will check that if they have collided or not. And as you can see, the even though the croc gets deleted, what doesn't delete is that the skinned mesh renderer component got deleted, but we weren't able to delete this further game object. So next thing we will do is to get this further game object with the tag enemy, and we will try to delete it or access its health values and try to use that